Being a safe swimmer is being a good swimmer. Just like when you're driving, being a safe driver, like wearing a seatbelt, is a sign of being a good driver. These 7 safety rules go beyond be careful and reveal how to have fun in the water without embarrassment, without fear or missing out while being safe. Let's jump in. The water's fine. I'm Corey Micah, your online swim instructor and developer of the Foundations of Change Learning to Swim method for adults. I've been teaching adults to go from fearful beginning and non-swimmers to jumping off the back of the boat in the warm tropical waters of Hawaii on vacation courses. Let's jump into these swimming safety tips that no one tells you. All right, tip number 1. Wear a life jacket without shame. Maybe you've worn a life jacket, but you have felt like, I'm missing out. This is embarrassing. I shouldn't be doing this. No, wearing a life jacket is a key safety tip for many, many places and times. Just like wearing that seatbelt in a car, it doesn't mean you're not a good swimmer. This is a sign of being a good swimmer. People who are good swimmers wear life jackets. They own life jackets. I have a big swimming family. We do so many things around the water, and I own a lot of life jackets. It doesn't mean I'm not a good swimmer. It's a sign that I am a good swimmer. I am a water person. I know how to go out and put my safety first for myself, for my kids, for my family, for people around me. People aren't going to have to come in and rescue me because I assess that situation and I wear that life jacket. So tip number 1, wear a life jacket without shame. Tip number 2, air should always be easy. I know this seems kind of obvious. Humans need air. But we often, when it comes to learning to swim as an adult, people think, well, I have to know how to do side breathing and front crawl in order to feel safe. The truth is, it goes the other way. You have to know how to have air. You can't have your air at threat while you're trying to learn something very complex like front crawl. Front crawl kind of comes out of this idea of I'm safe, I can get air any time I want to. Hey, now I'm just going to do it in a more complex way. You have to always know and feel secure and trustworthy that air is always easy. This allows your system to calm down enough to go try something new, right? Air always has to be easy. This is what we need as a human. This is your job to make sure that air is always available, always easy, never at risk. Point number 1, wearing a life jacket. It makes air 100% accessible to you. So this is where wearing the life jacket without shame so you can get air easily builds on your confidence and safety. Which takes us to point number 3, which is know it's normal for your body. Many people think in order to be safe, in order to swim, I have to be able to float, and floating looks like this. The truth is, Olympic swimmers, people who win swimming races we think are really good swimmers, they don't float. If they just stopped in the middle of the pool, they would sink to the bottom because it's a physics question. This is just normal for their body, and it's okay. This is why in our online courses, we teach people to break down the swimming skills, the swimming steps, small enough so they can really understand what is normal for my body. You could wish and hope all day long you have a different body, but come on, we're all adults here. We know that doesn't just happen. And that is a really good way to stop ourselves from doing things in life, saying my body has to be different than what it is. No, you have a great and amazing body right now. It's just about knowing what is normal for your body and then playing with it, moving to the next steps with it. All of those steps we show you in the courses, little bit by little bit, starting from this place of safety that you have a good and normal body. Point number 4, safe swimming does not equal freestyle or treading water, or sometimes people call it front crawl. They're a little bit synonymous. So safe swimming is not about being able to do those advanced skills. Those skills, freestyle or front crawl, these were developed by people who could swim. Huh? It's not that they couldn't swim and then they developed front crawl. People who were safe and who could swim developed these ways to be faster, more efficient, to go through the water in a particular way, in a particular style. It is not what makes them safe in the water. Safety comes from being with ourselves. From our next point, which is point number 5, calm fun is better than thrilling. If you're trying to do front crawl, you're trying to do all these things in your head, having to do all of this stuff, this is not really very calm, or at least not what I've seen in students over my 20 plus years of teaching. Calm fun is about being safe, knowing how to come to calm, knowing if you're not calm and what to do with it. This is about how we create safety in the water. This is how you are in charge of your safety. We've all seen those movies where the bad guy is running and, chasing you, and the person's running away and they just cannot run. They're tripping over their feet because they're just wildly, crazily going down. We always know the first thing to do in an emergency is not panic. Safety, calm has to come first. So when you're in your swimming journey, and this is what we teach you in the Foundations of Change, is the mental steps to this part of the swimming journey to really take you from, where am I in this barometer? Am I freaking out or am I calm? Am I excited and have this high energy or am I calm? Right? All of this is part of the normal human experience, but how do we be in charge of it instead of it just kind of seeming to happen to us? This is an essential step of safety in swimming. Point number 6, assess the situation. Way back when I was in middle school, I think it was the first time that I took a CPR class. And I remember the first thing that they taught us is step number 1 is you survey the scene. And I always remember that because they're as a rescuer, if you're going in to help somebody and there's electric power lines over somebody who needs CPR, you're not going to do them any good, right? So in this case, we're not talking about rescuing somebody else. As an adult, you're responsible for your own safety, and maybe you're responsible for some other people's safety. So you really want to take time to step back and assess the situation for you right now as you are as a beautiful human learning being. When we're assessing the situation, it's back to some of those earlier points of making sure as you go into the water that air is always going to be easy, right? What is it that I need to do to create a space where I can be calm and engaged, not missing out, not being embarrassed, right? Not having to stay away. So we're going to look for areas that the depths change, where the drop-offs are, where you're not sure. So when you're talking about open water, it's harder to tell where those places are. This is where a lot of people kind of lose it. They think that they are going to have the ground, and the ground goes away because the bottom of open water will change frequently. We want to assess what kind of movement there is. Have you ever heard of driftwood? Things in the water drift and move. This, back to an earlier point, is normal. Right? It's normal that things drift and move in the water. So if there's some movement, will I have air easily in the zone of movement? Is there a way that I can create space that says, well, when I drift and move, all of the drifting spaces that I go to air is still going to be easy for me. Right? We want to solve ahead of time for how you have assessed the situation. This is why learning to swim in a pool is a really great place, because there's limited variables. But this pattern of assessing the situation, we do all the way from when you put your toe in the water to in the 2 feet or on the steps or wherever it is that you're like, yes, I could stay calm sitting on this top step and I know air is available to me. Great. Look how good you're doing. But we take this all the way from that step to when we go with students to Hawaii, that we assess the beach, even though maybe we go to the same beaches, right? Us teachers know those beaches. Every single day, every single time we go, we assess the situation and we see what's what today, not just in the water, but also in here. Remember that foundation of change. The mental steps are equally, or I would say even more important than those physical steps, because it's what drives your ability in those physical steps. Learning to swim as an adult is 80% mental to 20% physical. So assessing both is a vital part of being safe. And the last point number 7, kind of rounds us back to point number 1. I started with wearing a life jacket without shame. I'm also going to put here on point number 7, use a flotation device. And that can be anywhere from a life jacket to a swim buoy to a noodle. Having a flotation device with you is a really good idea. Back in the old days when I took my lifeguarding class for the first time, taking a flotation device was kind of optional as a lifeguard. We were taught to dive in and just go for it. And how do we grab people and move them in and use their bodies and our bodies, and how do we keep people from holding on to us? All this stuff. Well, shortly after that time, the lifeguarding classes changed, and they 100% said lifeguards always have to take a flotation device with them. The reason why is because too many lives were not being saved, frankly. It was too risky for the high-skilled swimmers to go in without a flotation device. And it was realized, being a great, safe swimmer is not about muscling your way through. It's not about the bravado. It's about taking these precautions that allow you to engage. So I'm a distance swimmer. I will swim, 2 miles in the lake. And you know what? I have a little tail of a flotation device that goes along with me. It's there. I don't 100% depend on it, but I've got it with me if I want it, if I need to rescue somebody else. It also makes me more visible. The swim buoy that I use is also really about visibility as well. So take a flotation device. There's no problem in it. It's your job to really just say, I don't have to have any shame. I don't have to have any embarrassment about putting a seatbelt on, about doing the things that make me feel comfortable and calm so I can move forward enjoying the beautiful offerings that the water has for me. Learning to swim online, on a vacation in Hawaii, or with a local teacher, is about building a trusting, safe relationship with yourself and then the water. Be your best swimming partner. Love your journey. No shame, no embarrassment, no beating yourself up. These things just block your learning. 80% mental, 20% physical. Take one step at a time, one bit at a time. A next step for you is get started with our free online course. You don't even need to put a swimsuit on to get started. It's about taking steps forward, loving yourself in the journey, not just dreaming and wishing for your wildest vacation plans or swimming dreams. It's about taking action. Imagine learning to swim as an adult while feeling and being safe. Don't forget to click so you can be notified for more of these videos where I'm teaching you both the mental and the physical skills. Can't wait to see you in the online course, moving forward to your wildest swimming dreams.